If you like my content, click subscribe and hit the notification button if you want regular updates on my uploads. Go check out my brother's YouTube channel. His channel's name is Bren Mobile. He posts like really high quality clips of Call of Duty mobile gameplay, and his channel is very professional. Link is in the description and I recommend you go there. Today we're gonna do a Arkham Gadgets tier list, and if you disagree with my picks, comment, and let's get into the video. So the first gadget you get is the Batarang, and it's okay. At Arkham Asylum it's pretty good, and I give it like a C. It's good in combat but terrible in the stealth sections of the game. There's not much memorable about it. It doesn't really honestly do much. It's pretty bad. In terms of uniqueness, it's really plain. It's an iconic gadget, but I wasn't a big fan of it. Let's talk about explosive gel. So explosive gel is a great gadget. I enjoyed using it. There's nothing better than dropping a huge pile of rubble on a thug's head during a stealth segment. It's mostly more helpful in the stealth segments and not that good in combat, but it also can get you to some pretty interesting Easter eggs, and it's generally fun to use, so I think I'll put it at B. Also, with Arkham Knight you can shoot the explosive gel during combat, which makes it more viable, so we're going to stick with B tier because I really like this gadget. Next is the Bat Claw, and there's not much you can do with the gadget. I like it generally, mostly because it's useful in combat, and it can pull down rubble in Arkham Asylum with the triple Bat Claw, and the triple Bat Claw is super cool to use in combat, so I think I'll put it in B tier with explosive gel, and that's really all I can say about it. There's not much you use it for, unfortunately. Next is the Line Launcher, and it's an okay gadget. It's fun to use, but it's not really useful for travel as much as the Bat Grapple is useful for it. And I feel like it's just kind of plain. I like it, but it's not really that practical, so I'm going to put it on C tier. Next is the Remote Control Batarang, and I like it. It's not very useful in combat or stealth though, and it's fun to use for the puzzles and all that stuff, and it's easy to control, at least in City and Origins. In Asylum it's kind of difficult to use, so I'll give it a C tier. It's a average gadget, unfortunately. Now the Sonic Batarang is extremely useful, amazing for stealth. Obviously it's not so good for regular combat, but I love this gadget. It makes stealth so much easier and so much more tolerable. Not that I don't like stealth, but it's so awesome. Literally, you can electrically kill a thug by making it basically a mine by hitting the RB, or if you're on PlayStation, the equivalent button. And I just like this gadget. I'm giving it an A. I love it, and it's extremely useful for stealth. The cryptographic sequencer. I think it's cool, but in any other situation but hacking door panels, it's kinda useless. So I'll give it an A for the cool kind of puzzles you can do with it. You can check out the radio signals. It's pretty cool. I like the cryptographic sequencer, and I enjoy using it. It's very easy to use too, and the puzzles are pretty interesting. And I like hacking into stuff, so definitely an A tier. Next is the smoke pellet, and this gadget is amazing. I love it. It's incredible, extremely useful for stealth. Even in the middle of combat, you can chuck a smoke pellet down and it'll distract the thugs. And you can take out 3 thugs easily with the smoke pellet on the ground. So, instant S tier, very useful in pretty much every situation, and I just love this gadget. Forgot about detective vision, and it's self-explanatory if you played the games, but in the games you can see through walls with detective vision. You can scan crime scenes, do all that, and the crime scenes were probably the coolest thing in my opinion in the game, especially the Origins rewinding crime scenes. So even for that alone, I'll give it an S tier, but it's also useful for combat and pretty much everything. So no one can really get the drop on you. You use detective vision. So easily it's an S tier. Okay, let's talk about the remote electrical charge, or REC. I don't like this gadget. Yes, you can use it in combat, but it's okay. And the puzzles are pretty boring that you use it with. I usually just get frustrated with them. I really don't like the gadget. Some people do like this, but I'm honestly going to give it useless because I hate this thing. I really don't like it at all. And minus those lame puzzles, I could just care less about it. The Mr. Freeze blast grenades, if I'm naming them correctly, I like the gadget. It's cool to use in combat and stealth, but it's not my favorite, but it is fun to use. And it's practical for one enemy though, which is one critique I have to give it. So honestly, in terms of usages, I'll give it average. Like in terms of the ranking, I give it an average. It's helpful, but not the best gadget, to me at least. So the glue grenade is basically the same thing, except kind of lamer, but I'm probably still going to put it on the same tier as the freeze blast, just below it. And it's not that cool. I'll actually probably put it lower down the C tier because it's not that interesting as a gadget and kind of lame because it's glue. The concussion detonator. Pretty useless in combat. I didn't really enjoy using it, and I thought it was pretty bad, so I don't really like it that much. I'll give it a useless. It's just kind of lame. Doesn't help with combat, and it's very forgettable. The weapons disruptor is cool. At least in Arkham Knight it is, but in Origins it's okay, and in City it's also pretty crappy. But if we're going by Knight's version, I'm gonna go S tier, just for that version of it alone. It's really awesome, very practical, and helps in pretty much any situation, combat or stealth. The remote claw. This gadget is amazing. It's like the line launcher on steroids. It's so awesome. You can tie two thugs up, tie them to a frickin' gargoyle, and it's really awesome for stealth. And pretty frickin' awesome for combat too. So I really enjoy this gadget. It's awesome to use, and the boss battle where you have to fight against Deathstroke, who's using it against you, is freaking awesome. And I'll never forget how awesome this gadget is. And I'm going to put this at S tier, at the top, man. I love this gadget. It's freaking great. Next, we talk about the voice synthesizer, which is an amazing gadget. Probably my favorite and most fun to use gadget of all Arkham games. I love it. You can literally trick enemies into doing whatever you want, like touching rigged boxes with the disruptor that you rigged them with. And it's so good. I love it. Amazing, awesome to use, practical and stealth. Just a great gadget. I'll never forget the usage of it, and it's easily makes stealth super fun and gives you so many opportunities. Awesome gadget. It's a legend, honestly. I can't say that much about it other than that. Forgot about the shock gloves, and a lot of people complain about this gadget, but I honestly enjoyed using them. I thought they were cool and added a new dynamic to the combat. Sure, they were a little OP, but at the end of the game, who really cares if you're overpowered? It's better to be overpowered anyways, so I dig these gadgets. I wish they would have returned in Night, and I give them an S tier because I love them so much. And the fight with Bane, where you fight with these against him, like you use these against him, is amazing. The Batmobile is a controversial gadget in the Arkham games, and I understand that it's kind of overused, but I thought it was awesome the first time I played it. And the tank combat sucks, or it doesn't suck, it's okay. I wouldn't say it's terrible, but I think it's pretty awesome. You can take thugs out super easily, they run away when they see the thing, and it's super fast too. Plus there's different skins and racetracks for it, so easily it gets an S tier. Catwoman's whip is pretty lame, and I didn't really enjoy the usage of it. So for me, it didn't really do that much in combat or in stealth. and it wasn't really cool or used in any cool puzzles or anything. So I'm giving it a useless. I hated it. Same with Clatrops. They're terrible. They barely work. They're like a crappy version of the Batarang, which is super annoying. So those are definitely terrible, and I put them on the same level without even having to make 2 separate clips just to talk about them. Future me here, I made a mistake. This is Clatrops. The other stuff was Bolus, as I told you in the edit, and Clatrops are useless, and frickin', for some reason my tier list reset. This is probably not the right word, but that's okay. That's aside the point. The Clatrops suck, and that's why they're in the next couple clips. I have no idea what this gadget is, and I guess this is the Bat Claw, and obviously I'm going to put that in S tier because it's the only means of traversal, if that's what that is. And the Detective Vision thing is easily going to be a S tier as well because it's very practical and awesome to use, especially in Arkham Origins, so it gets an S for me. That was my tier list video, and if you disagree, put some comments down and tell me what you think. So see you later, and good luck with your day, and peace out.